Hi, this is Paulette from the Magical Needle, and this is part 2 of making the twine bowls. So I did a few more rows, as you can see. It looks really nice. And this is the inside. I'm almost done with the bowl, and then I'm going to finish up. I'll show you how to finish this one up. I'm deciding if I'm going to do handles or not. It's pretty easy to do handles. And then I'm going to do an applique for the inside, and I'll show you how I do that as well. Okay, as the bowl gets bigger, it's kind of hard to push it up. So I'm slowly letting the cording slide as I'm helping maneuver it. And I have to stop sometimes to fix the cording to make sure it doesn't get wrapped around or in the wrong place. Now you can make this bowl as large as you want. I've made them really tall before. So just be a few more rows. And then I'll show you how I finish it off. So I am going to make a handle. So I have the twine here and then the cording here. So I am just going to wrap it around a few times. There we go. Sometimes it takes me a couple of times to get it how I want it. Okay. So look how cute that looks. Doesn't that look nice? So let me do it one more time. And then what I'm going to do is I put a binding clip here, and then I'm going to do a binding clip right there. Okay? And then I'm just going to continue on doing the zigzag around. And then I am going to maybe put another one here, but I'm not sure. Sometimes I only put one handle. You don't have to put two. I may just stop and do a little swirl design on the other side. Okay, so here is the handle, and I'm gonna just start zigzagging. So I got to the beginning of this handle, and you can see it's kind of loose, just very thin. So it really doesn't have a lot of stability. So I made another one, see? And then I'm using binding clip just to hold this down. And then I'm going to rewrap it around. And I'm actually going to sew this part down later where I have the binding clip. Around, around, and around. Look how cool that looks. Doesn't that look great? And then I am just going to finish this off by holding that right there with the binding clip, and then I'm going to sew here. I'm going to cut this at an angle, put a little tape so it doesn't fray, and then just kind of tuck it in like that. Okay, I'll show you what it looks like in a minute. Okay, so this is the bowl. It's finished. I need to cut some loose threads. This is the inside. That's the handle. And now we're going to do an applique. And what I did was I just put a little piece of tape over here and I sewed that down inside. Now the other thing you could have done is just stopped right over here on the other side of the handle and do a swirl, or sometimes I do a design and then I sew it in. But I just decided to do it this way. So now I'm doing an applique. So I need something to make a circle. You could even do a heart, whatever you want to do. I have some holiday Christmas snowflake fabric. So I'm just using this as a circle, as a guide, and I'm going to draw around this circle. So I lightly drew around the back of the fabric just so I can make sure that it fits the circle size I want. It looks good, and because I cut a little piece of fabric out. Now I'm using something called Steam Seam 2 Light. It's fusible web, and it has the fusible on both sides. So I took the fusible web and I put it on the back side of the fabric. See, that's the front side, this is the back. And then you press it with a hot, dry iron so that the glue inside melts onto the back of the fabric. So what that does is when you cut out a shape, it stops the fraying. It almost makes it kind of like paper. And then I traced a circle around here. And now I'm going to cut it out. So I cut a circle out, and then I peeled the back of the web off, and then I just put it right in the middle of the bowl. So what you can do now is you could do like a blanket stitch around or another zigzag stitch. If you don't want to do that, you could hot glue it, but I would just do a zigzag stitch. Now, it may be hard to get this under your needle foot, so you could actually press this down and kind of push this down on the bowl. The other thing you could do too is there's something called, they make something where you could spray this and it makes it stiffer. So I think a lot of people use it when they do like crochet and knit hats and things like that, and some other things. So it stiffens it up if you're doing some yarn projects, and you could definitely use it on this. Now I haven't tried it yet, but some people do use that. So I am just zigzagging right around. You see how I push this bowl down. So it's not perfect, but this one's for me. And I could even go and redo this. I'll probably just pick out those crooked stitches. I'm kind of rushing through here, so don't rush through like I'm doing. And you could even use a blanket stitch too, so the stitches won't show as much. But I'm going around again. And I'm going to go around again. Just to make sure that it stays. Okay, one more time. Now you don't have to go around and around as much as I am, but I kind of like that it gives it that vintage look. And I hope this inspires you to create something magical.